Hey, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being you. I love each and every one of you so much and I appreciate you truly, for all aspects of you, your divine essence. We have a message today from Mother Earth herself. I've been sitting here in this energy, and essentially Mother wants to share with us where we are on this journey now. It's coming through in this a way that my ego really doesn't like, the Cotton Eye Joe song, Where Did You Come From, Where Did You Go? That, it does have multiple meanings. It's Cotton Eye Joe. If you look up the history of that, you'll know what I mean. We are at a turning point right now. I don't mean to just say that and then move on. Okay, ancestry is really important here. I pulled some cards. These three came up. The deer, or the buck rather, which is communication with our ancestors and the stars. Okay, our earthly ancestors and our galactic ancestors. This is the whole galaxy coming together to work together in this. Yes, it is. Spirit says there's a fire within our souls. You guys, welcome to the new earth, first of all. Welcome to the new earth. You and I, watching this video, participating in this, you're being called to be the foundation for this new earth frequency. Some of the first true inhabitants of this new home is what I'm being led to say. Okay? I'm here. One of the reasons that I'm here, honestly, I'm still on this journey. I have not figured it all out. But one of the reasons I'm here, maybe the reason, is to help bring in this new earth frequency, habitate, I almost want to say, I am a new earth teacher. I am a new earth teacher. I am bringing in the new earth. We are doing this together as a community. That's what we're doing, okay? We are deciding to escape, to break out of these paradigms that we've been living under, and to choose a new reality, to choose a new way to live, okay? To be active creators in our own freaking world. There's a very common misconception about what it means to be a co-creator and what it means to manifest. We are always manifesting. We are always manifesting. Thoughts do create reality in many ways. There's always this back and forth relationship between your thoughts creating something in the external and the external world affecting your thoughts. There's a feedback loop. This is always happening. So really, when we talk about being a co-creator in your own world, we're talking about conscious manifestation as opposed to subconscious manifestation. So truly, we manifest everything, whether it's a new car, a new home, the love of our lives, or a deep, dark, depressive state, a car crash, some terrible things. We manifest everything to some degree. We are co-creators. This is why it's so important to take accountability, to take responsibility for your life, for yourself, for your experience, because on some level, consciously or not, you made it. You made it this way. I know that can be hard to hear. Everything happens for a reason. I am on this journey, just as you are, of acceptance of all parts of ourselves, the beautiful and the ugly. This is what it means to be one, to be whole, and to be pure. To be pure, we see the light in everything, even our shadows. We see the worth in everything, the value in everything. I'm choosing today to show up as myself, imperfect and all, because I know that I am perfectly imperfect, just like our world is, just like you are. So, we are asked to reflect. There is a long history of enslavement, both of the mind, of people, many of us. in many ways. Of course, we have the literal enslavement in our history. There's other forms of slavery as well, like we see today in the modern workforce, where your power is stripped from you, your voice is stripped from you, you're told what to do, or else. You're not allowed to make decisions for your own, or so you think. So, sitting in this heavy energy, which has a good outcome, I promise. But honey, if we can't handle this heavy shit, we can't work through it. You have to be able to stare at your demons in order to understand them, in order to see how they can offer you strength. And oftentimes when I've done this, y'all, it's not about using force. It's not about seeing a monster and resisting it and learning how to fight back and using all of your strength to slash its head off, right? It's not about that resistance. That can be counterproductive often. It's draining of your energy. What we need to be doing instead is sort of inviting our monsters to tea, having them sit down. And in my personal life, in my personal, the inner work, outer work, the self-work, whatever you want to call it, that I've been doing, I've found that to be the most effective. To look at my demons, the parts of me that are screaming, the parts of me that are self-critical, that are doubting myself, every little thing. Even like what shirt to put on in the morning. Sometimes, like I've had periods of my life not too long ago where every freaking little decision, what toppings to put on my sandwich that I'm making, like whatever, literally a literal voice in my head saying, that's the wrong thing. Are you sure about that? Do you really want to do that? Like, just like every little thing. I'm like, oh, what, the world's gonna end because I chose to wear blue instead of red? Like, what? Oh my God. It's pervasive. This self-doubt, this critic, those are our demons. They're everywhere. But the more I would resist that, and say, no, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, the more it just starts laughing. It just starts laughing at you. It comes back. Like, so what I started doing instead, and I hope this can be helpful for you as well, is communicating with this and saying, honey, why are you so judgmental? Like, I understand, saying to yourself, literally, I understand where some of these emotions might be coming from, why you might feel the need to judge me, to speak harshly on me, to doubt me. I understand why you may not be feeling confident. But it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the greatest good. And so just literally opening up a channel of communication between you and your demons, and you'll find a lot of the time, okay, these demons that we say we're being attacked, the vast majority of the time, it's you. It's your child, like your inner child, or it's a part of you that you've suppressed. It's not somebody put a spell on you and some actual physical entities are coming from the external of your mind and attacking you. Like, sometimes it's that. That is real too. But the vast majority of the time, it's your own mind attacking you. It's your own versions of yourself that exist in your own mind coming at you and attacking you, because that is part of the programming that we've all grown up in, that our ancestors have been living in. You're not just breaking the chains of your current life, you're breaking the chains of your ancestors, of your blood. Your DNA, it extends so far, honey. It's big. It's heavy. Yeah, when you cry your tears, your ancestors are crying too. You're not just letting out your own energy, you're allowing your ancestors to release their blockages as well. It's a transmutation of the whole, for the whole. You expand across time and space. We talk about past lives, but they're not really in the past. Everything is just now. Everything is just now. We exist right now. Past, present, future. It's now. Look into quantum physics. There's a thing called non-locality. Non-locality describes pretty much how things can be how information can coexist without having to go through time or space. You are quantumly entangled with all of the versions of yourself. And so while our 3D minds conceive of it more easily when we call those other versions of ourselves past versions, past lives, they do exist now. And those past lives that you remember are often, they're just the versions of yourself that you are most in resonance with. Often they're even the versions of yourself that you are expressing most at this point now, because of your cosmic frequency, because of your DNA, because of the way that the stars, the planets, the galaxies were aligned when you were born. It is your algorithm. It is the recipe of your soul. So you're just tuning into different aspects of your recipe now. Yeah, you are one with your ancestors. All of them. All of them. And they're cheering for you. They're applauding you for doing this work. We are called to communicate with our ancestors more. All aspects of ourselves. Yes, the house, I don't know if you heard that, but there's a little click. There's a little click. Spirit's always communicating with us. Anything that happens during a reading is confirmation to me. Something clicked. We're called to communicate with all aspects of ourselves. Across time and space. Mother Earth has a message for us. She says, I'm growing and expanding just as you are. I once was a seed, now taking root. We are on to new horizons. Where will you go? Where will you go? 1212 as I open my eyes and look at the timer. 1212, a beautiful number of creation, creation, protection, and this balance too. 1 + 2 is 3. We have 3 and 3 and 6. This beautiful, harmonious number. We are creating. Before coming on to begin this message, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer as I see it. Before coming on to do this message, I sat with Mother, and she led me through, maybe one day I'll be brave enough to show this on camera. It's almost like what we would call a shamanic journey, even though I have issue with that word for some reason. I haven't figured out why yet, but maybe because there's initiations that are required to really call yourself a shaman. But anyway, I was acting it out, singing, acting it out, seeing the movie play in my mind's head, and observing myself, letting my body flow, letting it express itself, and just being the observer in that moment. So Mother took me on this journey to understand her better. And what she showed me her beginnings, before she was created, before creation was, before. And it was vast. It was vast. It was limitless. There was this, it was all potential. We created stuff. That we were proud of. It was scary because we didn't know what we were doing. But there is this very heavy, sort of masculine energy as well. It's like we went from this boundless everything is possible, and suddenly we're making decisions, and we're like, oh, I'm going to take this part of infinity and boop, crystallized, creating it. It exists now across so many more dimensions. In a way that it didn't used to, in a much more tangible way, in a way that I can now pluck the strings and it makes a noise and it creates other things. It was beautiful, delicate, but powerful. And then something happened. We got cold. Destruction became a part of our reality. Destruction and creation, which always work together. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. Maybe we didn't know this originally, and so it hurt. And Mother, she closed off She went into herself. She got cold. Things went dark. She put her mask on, and she questioned who she was. Given everything that was shown to her, given everything that she saw of herself, she didn't like all of it. She felt that as though there were other people, other energies in the universe hurting her. And she forgot that she created them too. That they were part of her. So there were parts of her she didn't like. She closed off. Trying to preserve her original purity, that original essence. She created from that space. She created beautiful things. The Fae is coming into me now. The fairies, the elves, mystical beings of light, of magic, with childlike hearts and devious natures. Maybe she created them from that space of wishing to hold on to everything that felt lost, and that space of trying to maintain your own childlike essence, your purity, pure essence. I am seeing the sun and rainbows in my mind's eye now. If the whole world can't be heaven, I might as well create it in my little space. So she closed off. It was safer. But it wasn't everything. And it severed her. It cut herself off from herself. The more she polarized, the less, I want to say, stable she became. The more she polarized, the more it was heavy, chaotic. She decided she got to a breaking point. And it feels like it was curiosity or desperation, or it just this soreness of the heart is what I was feeling. This a deep sadness that begs for sunshine. So what choice did she have? She opened herself back up to the world, to herself, her wholeness. I was doing this. She had me doing this in many forms, like clearing away the clouds, feeling the fresh breath of life on her skin again and flowing through her whole beingness. Looking beyond what she thought she was, and looking into the future again, looking into the center of creation again, where everything is possible. And looking at her ugliness too. She took off the mask. It came with this beautiful frequency of, here I am, but I'm still hiding, just showing the face, just gonna peek, just see what's there. So many were so happy to see her. They were so happy to see her. She was becoming herself again. And she learned in that moment that the only way through this, the only way to come back into this alignment that she once had, or thought she had, desired, was to play. To surrender to the fact that she doesn't know. She doesn't know everything. She doesn't know who she is, or who she will be, or who she wants to be. She just is. And so she began to stretch her limbs, clear the clouds away even more, Show her face to more than just a few. Peek in all different directions of the galaxy. Ooh, what's that? Who am I? I don't like that one, but it's part of me. Huh. I wonder why that exists, and I wonder where the strength in that lies. What magic created that ugliness? Being grateful for it all, she began to play, she began to dance with all the elements, and from this space she created too. This is where we are now. 2047. This number 247. 24/7, all the time. The energy of a day, the cycle of a day. She created from this space of play. This is where we are now. Learning to just be. Learning to just be. We will not have all the answers. We can't. You can't wait to just be or to be happy until you know everything. Because you can't learn everything unless you experience more things. So, be. Easier said than done. I know. Easier said than done. The only way I know how to be, because I'm working on it too, honey. This is where we are right now. Mother is here with you. This is a collective energy I'm reading. This is the journey of Earth as told by whatever human being this is. Kara, my name is Kara. Hello, welcome. Nice to meet you. This is my channel. I'm a vessel for divine communication, and I bring forth messages that serve our highest and greatest good. I play with the energies of the cosmos, and I know that I am so much greater than I appear in this physical 3D body. I am multidimensional, by definition. Not just magical woohoo, but quantum. How many dimensions? 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 dimensions, right? Time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are multidimensional beings. It's probably infinite dimensions. We exist across so many realities. And when you're able to tap into those different realities, you can see a lot more from a much broader perspective. I can see timelines, possibilities. I can see into what we call the past, the future. I can read current energies in many ways by allowing them into my being. And then just observing what images are in my mind. What am I hearing? What do I smell? What do I feel? What emotions do I feel? What muscles in my body are twitching? Observing. Just being. This is one of the ways I know to just be. You don't need psychic gifts to be, of course. No, you do not. The best way I know to just be is to try to get in touch with what makes you tick, with what ignites you, with what makes you excited, with what makes you happy. If nothing makes you excited, that's okay. What makes you smile? What makes you feel peaceful? Maybe it's a good book. Maybe it's putting your toes in the sand. Maybe it's watching the bees drink from the flowers. Maybe it's going to a football game. What makes you feel peaceful? What makes you feel happy? Follow those things. And be honest with yourself. Because many of you may be thinking, well, drinking a bottle of wine every night sure makes me happy. But does it? Does it? You have to ask yourself those things. Are you being honest with yourself? Maybe it makes you happy in the moment. How do you feel the next morning? How do you feel, how do you feel about it really? Is it fulfilling to you? Is it fueling your greatness? These are the things that the soul sees as worth it, happy. And there are no mistakes, only learning opportunities, truly, truly, truly. You can get through anything, you really can. But that's the only way I know how to be. It's just being brave, trying to, stand in your authenticity, express that, See how it feels, assess, and then do it again and see where it takes you. You don't have to know the answers. You don't have to know where the finish line is. It's good to have some idea. But for the most part, we're just taking it one step at a time, like literally one step at a time. One step at a time. And you will discover. You will discover. This is what Mother is doing. This is what we're all being called to do. Play. Da 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 da. Create. Create. It's been so healing for me. So freaking healing, y'all. I've had so much anxiety. I know you have too. Who the heck doesn't? Like, how many people on this planet have an anxiety diagnosis? How many people are depressed, suicidal? I know, trigger warning, but it's a real thing. How many people have an ADHD diagnosis, can't stay focused, can't have thoughts racing through their minds? How many people can't sleep at night? We are all struggling in so many ways. This is a product, a symptom of the current state of the freaking planet right now, because we are a planetary consciousness. We're a planetary consciousness. You are a piece of God. You are a piece of God. You are an embodiment of God being expressed in a particular frequency. Your recipe. Your recipe. So many of us struggle. For most of my existence in this lifetime, I've had like really intense anxiety, very intense depression. Can't get out of bed. Whatever, we've been there, okay? Can't get out of bed. See no reason to get out of bed. Why would I even try to do anything today? I don't need to shower. No, maybe I do, but I don't have the energy for that, even though I know it always feels better after I do, right? There's a period of my life, only 2 years ago, it feels like 10. It's only like 2 years ago, I was having panic attacks every single day for months. Every day. My nervous system was shot. Absolutely shot. I struggled with addiction too. I've done a lot of healing. And because I did it, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. It's called the dark night of the soul. That's what we call it. That period of your healing or your spiritual awakening, whatever, where you go into yourself, you isolate, everything gets really, really bad, but you come out of it better. If I can do it, you can do it. And one of the most healing things for me, the way that I got myself out of it, because, I decided long ago, not that long ago, really, 6 years, feels like a long time. 6 years ago, I was like, I'm not going to take my medication anymore. Like, not like cold turkey, right? I decided, let me get off of my antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, because that's not the answer to me. I no longer wish to treat the symptoms. I wish to treat the root of the freaking problem, which is, well, I didn't know what it was at the time, Me not taking care of myself, me not knowing who I am, that's the root of the problem. So I stopped taking those pharmaceuticals. And I healed myself with Mother Nature, like truly and genuinely. I healed myself by going to Mother Nature, literally going outside and hugging trees, putting my bare feet on the ground, removing the things from my life that made me anxious, like the people that made me anxious, that were not good for me, that I was giving too much of my energy to, removing the substances that didn't serve me anymore, removing other habits that didn't serve me, and belief systems. My God, still working on those, of course. I have been rewiring my mind very consciously, going to Mother Nature, allowing her frequency to enter my being to balance me out. And it's not just, woo, sparkly magic, 29:29 on the timer, right? There's more and more science coming out that putting your feet on the earth, grounding as we call it, it actually helps your body to regulate itself, lowering inflammation, speeding up wound healing, improving the quality of sleep. This is all science that's coming out. Like, Mother is here for you. Everything that you need is right here. All of the medicine. Okay, I started drinking tea. A lot instead of coffee. Although I did have a cup of coffee today and yesterday. because I miss it, and sometimes I drink coffee, and that's fine. But most of the time I drink tea, and I'm still gonna have like 5 cups of tea, even though I had a cup of coffee. But like not with caffeine, right? This doesn't have caffeine in it. It's a bunch of herbs that a lot of them I grew, and it's mother's medicine. It's mother's medicine. She has everything for you. This is how I've been taking care of myself. Truly, by returning to my roots, who I am as an individual, and who I am as part of this planet, as part of this galaxy. We have evolved. We have evolved in rhythm with the Earth's cycles, in rhythm with the cosmic cycles. The way that we've been living for the past few thousand years, and especially the last couple hundred years, is totally out of sync. It doesn't allow, it's not built into this current structure. What the heck is 9 a.m. get to work, right? That doesn't have anything to do with the sun. We don't celebrate things when the moon is full anymore. Like our ancestors. Okay, listen. Lions and wolves is just like an example from the animal kingdom that's been on my mind lately. Lions and wolves, they are more likely to hunt when the moon is new, when it's a new moon, meaning it's dark outside, because the predators are less likely to see them, and therefore their hunts are more successful. So during the full moons, you'd expect them to engage in other behaviors, like maybe socializing more, or, you know, finding a new place to hunt, maybe for the next hunt coming up, stalking a pride, whatever. Like, behavior in the animal kingdom is very much dependent on the moon. And so then think about when the moon is full, the world is illuminated, there are less likely to be predators stalking you in the bushes, so you, as a gazelle or a bison, you're going to be more relaxed. You're going to be more relaxed because you can see the threats coming. These are part of the cycles, the emotional cycles, the behavioral cycles of the animal kingdom that we used to live by as well. Chances are, if lions and wolves used to hunt more often when the moon is new, humans probably did that too, because we're pretty smart, and I know how bright it gets when the moon is full. Yeah, that rabbit can see me coming, that wolf, whatever, can see me coming. Yeah, we hunted during the daytime as well, but imagine how much brighter the stars are when the moon is new. All the stories that we would have told because you can see all of them in their glory. Maybe that's what we did. My point is, we used to live by these cycles. They used to be our lives, and we've come so separated from that. It's been so healing for me to return to that. To me, that is what it means to return to the essence of what it means to be human, what it means to be an animal. We are animals, you know that. We are animals, you and I, we're great apes. Phylogenetically, we are great apes. Our closest living ancestor is the chimpanzee. Our lineages diverged. They diverged from a common ancestor about 8 or 9 million years ago. That's how long we've been on our own. There have been a lot of other hominin species since then, but right now it's only us. We are meant to be living more in sync with ourselves. We really are. And I think this is where this theme of communication is coming back up. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this far. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know this one has like a totally different vibe to it, because I'm trying to show up in whatever my authenticity means, and I'm trying to trust the process. I truly am. You have some channeled notes. I'm trying to trust the process, that me being authentic as possible is naturally healing to you. Yeah. So this is how I'm showing up today, and maybe I'll show up differently tomorrow. But this is how I'm showing up today, and I appreciate you being here. And I have been afraid to talk about myself. I have, because I'm like, oh God, that's egotistic and I can't do that, but there's value in me sharing my own experience for me and you. So I'm gonna see how it feels for a bit. This is me playing right now, to be honest. This is me playing. I just split this deck. This is the adventure card. The adventure card. Number 3. I remember that 12-12 that was on the timer earlier. 3s. 3 and 3. Yeah, this is an adventure. What's that? The little Einstein's theme song is coming to me. On our favorite rocket ship, going through the skies, little Einsteins. Yeah, we're going all the way. Shoot for the stars, or shoot for the moon, land among the stars, whatever. We're blasting off. Okay, y'all. Some brief notes, and then I guess, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. We are at a critical part of this journey. We're at a critical part of this journey. We're learning who we are. We're learning how to play. We're bringing it all together. Bringing it around town. I don't know, SpongeBob. Bringing it around town. Thank you. My ancestors are like, you're doing a great job. Just keep going. This is very uncomfortable for me. But it actually feels more authentic to me than some of my past videos. So that's good. Okay. I'm just staring at this page, not processing anything. It's one of those moments. All right. So where we are now, in this energy of just needing to play. Remember before that, we spoke of polarization. And so the other thing I did, in addition to that shamanic sort of earth journey, was I pulled some runes. I'll show you one of them. They're just little cosmic runes that I channeled. I made them up, basically. Here's one of them. So they all have a bunch of random, not random, I'm saying random, but like, you know, I channeled the symbols. They came to me. Here's another one. Did it a while ago. So I pulled some of these. And I also have some planets. I have planet cards in here. This is one that actually came out. This is Jupiter. So that's what we did. And I pulled them out and I just threw them out in front of me and I read the energy. It's a form of scrying. Leaning into my ancient seership. Because apparently that's what I am, if we want to put a label on it. I'm trying to get used to it. So I pulled these runes, and what I gathered from them is that this increasing in polarization is a massive power source for change. Ding, 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 bells of confirmation. It's a massive power source for change, okay? It's related to this energy of the volcano. And an analogy came through, essentially, okay, if you were to take fire and water and mix those together versus if you were to take fire and ice, more polarized, right? There's a bigger difference in temperature, and let's just say temperature for now, states of matter as well, but there's going to be a more drastic, more explosive result when we mix the fire and the ice compared to when we mix the fire and the water. We're going to observe more change due to that increasing polarization. Okay, because the ice is going to melt. It's going to feel like it happens really, 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 really quickly. And then we're going to see the steam coming up, and it's going to be this chaotic thing because there's probably still going to be some ice even when some steam is being made. Like, there's a lot of change happening all at once, and it's because of this polarization. It's almost like there's more energy to create with, or more possibilities. Yes, more possibilities at hand. And there's this energy as well of going back to kindergarten with this, like as a collective, we're kind of going back to kindergarten and learning to relearn the basics, One of the runes that came out was one that was shaped like a little nose. And so the nose may be relevant, the sense of smell. And what's coming to me right now actually is when I'm, one of the signs that God, the universe gives me whenever I'm using my intuition is, if I'm like right on the nose about something, if I'm like super right and I need extra confirmation about it, the end of my nose will twitch, or I'll just feel something on the end of my nose. Or sometimes it'll itch, right? Yeah. So the nose, that may be something I was meant to say for you to hear, okay? We're going back to kindergarten with this. There's a lot of power coming from this polarization. And This polarization, by the way, the masculine energy and the feminine energy is very relevant here. We'll get into that in just a moment. Spirit wanted to point out as well that everybody, no matter how awake you are, no matter what sort of timeline you're on, like whether you're on this New Earth timeline or whether you're on a self-serving, what we would call like kind of evil or low vibrational timeline, regardless of who you are, what you believe, where you're headed, where'd you come from, where'd you go, regardless if you're sleeping or awake. All of us see these new horizons. All of us see, to some degree, what is happening on the planet right now. This massive period of change. Massive change. I mean, it's obvious. Look at the political atmosphere. Look at the planet. Look at all those people. Look at the inequality, right? Look at our recent history and all of the... Am I going to get flagged for saying words like this? Like, look at the history of all these different forms of oppression, discrimination, injustice. Okay. Well, look at that. Slavery, genocide, all of the things that I won't list in entirety because we'd be here forever, unfortunately. We all see this new horizon. It's plain. It's plain. Things are happening. Change is happening. A lot of us are afraid. I want you to know that we've already won, okay? This new Earth frequency, there's this tipping point that has very recently occurred. The timeline has collapsed. Time has folded. This new Earth, it is here for you now. You can step into it. It is here. The platform is here. The ship is docked. It's here. It's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Just by the way, we've already won, okay? Everything that the dark side is doing is just there to cause chaos. Don't believe their lies when they say they have power. They're just tiny little crying babies that with their tails between their legs, okay? Paris Paloma just posted this beautiful new song. Like, go listen to that. I think she literally just wrote it and it was like a snippet, but you can find her on whatever social media. Look at her new song that she just posted. She said something about tail between your legs. Yeah. So no, we've won. I know it can be scary. Don't give them your energy. Don't give them your energy. They're trying to confuse you. They're trying to cause you fear because that's how they control us. And we don't feel that anymore because we are the new Earth and we know that we have power. We know that we are creators of our own reality and we can take our control back in our hands. Okay, we are unifying. We are coming together, okay? The games that they think they're playing on us is not working. We're coming together. We are coming together. It's unifying us because they're being so freaking obvious with it. It's like, whoa, y'all, I didn't choose this. One man and his goons, what, like 5 men are gonna tell me how to live my life and that I have to keep suffering? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. No. No. Do you know how many of us there are? Do you know how powerful love is? No. No. We come together. We come together. I'm rambling now. We're going off on a tangent there. I apologize. But y'all, it's a worthy one, okay? Oh, God. So, everybody sees this new horizon. Doesn't matter who you are. But not everybody sees the path. Not everybody sees the path. The rune that came up with that one looks like the Fleur de Lys, which I should remember what it is. You can look it up. It's an iris. It's an iris. And I don't know why I associate it with the sort of energy of the 3 of the mother. 4422 on the timer as I look at it. Mother, maiden, crone, cycles, death, life, rebirth. I associate it with that for whatever reason. So not everybody sees the path. We all see the horizons. And so what's happening right now? This is what the runes told me. The masculine energy, this divine masculine energy, which is the energy that takes everything that's possible and kind of makes decisions, right? It's sort of the choices, I suppose. That is exploding. It's exploding. It's reaching a tipping point. all of the elements together are reaching a tipping point, and a volcano is coming through with that. Okay, the magma, which is fire, it flows like water. The pressure of it builds up. The earth breaks. It explodes through the air. Air pressure, I'm sure, is involved in a volcanic eruption. My nose is really itchy during this whole session. Freaking a volcano is happening. All of the elements coming together, reaching this tipping point. The masculine energy is destructing. It is destroying itself. It's destroying. It's coming to this tipping point. Spirit is saying to me now it's already happened. We just haven't seen all the repercussions yet, but that's okay. And they're giving me this vision of a whining and crying baby. Look into the... a whining and crying baby. Again, listen to Paris Paloma's song. It's like that energy. Okay, a man in a suit whining and crying type of thing. The masculine's exploding. The feminine is changing course. The feminine is changing course. Is adjusting to this. Okay, this is a galaxy-wide phenomenon. This is a galaxy-wide phenomenon. So the feminine here is beginning to see her true essence, to see that she's not chaos per se, or sure she is. That's how we like to say it. It's chaos and order, feminine, masculine. But that chaos is actually just boundless, infinite potential. That's what this chaos is. That's what that chaos is. It's boundless, infinite potential. And she's beginning to see herself like that. So this divine feminine DNA in the planetary grid system, as well as in your body, your DNA, it is being awakened. It's being aligned. Spirit is saying there's a light being shined on it. And I'm kind of seeing this flashlight. There's a light being shined on this aspect of yourself. Divine feminine awakening, a resurrection. I am starting to believe that this is actually the resurrection of Christ consciousness. Has to do with the divine feminine. Because there's a lot of falsehoods that we've passed down through our culture about what Christ is and what God is. We've forgotten the feminine in the picture, who was there before creation and created everything. So there's this resurrection of the divine feminine, which is coming along with this resurrection of Christ consciousness, the return of Christ, if you will, right? That's what it is, okay? It is this harmonization of the masculine and the feminine, and the way that this is happening is the feminine is remembering who she really is. She is expanding as the masculine breaks down so that he can rebuild and recreate himself as well in a way that is harmonious with the flow of the ecosystem. Divine order and divine will is what Spirit is saying to me now. So, and then behind this feminine change, there's a lot of mental processes going on behind the scenes. Lots of mental processes going on behind the scenes. And at the center of all of this is Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of optimism, of possibility. All right, we had a rune that looks like an egg. An egg is hatching. The baby is still in the shell, but the egg is broken. We can break free. We can break free. It's there for you. We can break free. Get out of your shell. It's already open for you, right? The new earth is here. And there's a very strong energy as well in the runes of the two becoming one. This harmonization, this unification. So we're going from this state of like really intense polarization, and we're starting to see it as all part of the whole. The two becoming one. Yeah. So the way to do this too, the rune, that means to just kind of flow, to just like ride the slopes, like even if you're skiing, you just sort of ride the slopes. That rune came up as well. And so, yeah, the answer is to play. I'm gonna have to go 1 second because I hear somebody, but I will end this very shortly. I love you. Hello, beautiful child of the light. I'm back, and I bring to you some hot cocoa from this mug that my friend gave me. Don't hurry, be happy. Very good advice for times like now. All right, so I believe where we left off was play, learning to flow despite this polarization. or rather because of the polarization. So I want to just get some final advice for us now. We're going to put this deck away, which this, by the way, was this beautiful fairy deck. The fairies, which I love so much and am currently forming a much deeper connection with. Oh. Okay, so, and I guess in the spirit of friendship, this was a gift from a friend as well. This has been calling to me all reading, honey. It does have cards associated with it in the back here. And I want to get us some advice. So this is, of course, a crystal deck. I'm not very well acquainted with it. I feel called to show you this page. It has all these beautiful things illustrated on it, like, well, I can't see it, and I don't remember, but, you know, the texture of wood, butterflies, moths. Beautiful little things. A bunch of crystals, of course, little plants, branches, and the color purple. So let's get you some advice, because I know it can be difficult. Okay, we're gonna also, yes, we're gonna get you some advice from the Magical Spirit Oracle deck as well. One of my favorites. Okay, we'll put her back over here for now. So, we're trying to learn how to play, trying to learn how to be. Spirit, Mother Nature. This is a reading from our beautiful Mother Earth. She says, use all my elements wisely. One at a time you will master them, and you will know who you are. Look within, see how they cooperate together within your being to form your identity. Sort them out, play with them each one by one, then see what happens when you put them together. Fuse them, corroborate is coming through, corroborate. Collaboration. And then I'm hearing anticipation of the events, of future events. We have Elestial Quartz. Become, English help, inimitable. Inimitable? And there's a little owl on here, page 99. It's giving me like Stonehenge vibes, and then I'm very much seeing these as gateways. And there's a lot of different gateways. So, you just heard that channeled advice for you from Mother to explore her elements, which is exploring all different aspects of you, but truly like earth, water, fire, air, reflecting on each of them at a very deep level. Everybody will do it differently, so I won't tell you how to do that, but, you know, be observant. Maybe in the future, let me know in the comments if that is like a type of video that you would like. I am thinking of doing readings based off of the elements, you know, like a tarot spread for each element, centering the energy around each element, probably one for space as well, all the space in between. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, and I'll totally do it. I would love to. That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, so becoming inimitable, which I do not know what that means. Elestial Quartz. Deep in the heart of the earth, Elestial forms, layer by uneven layer. Perhaps in the distant past of her beginning, she was a regular quartz. But after centuries of responding to ever-present change in temperature, moisture, and even the shifting of tectonic plates, she has flowed and morphed into unexpected shapes and textures. If we allow it, this is what life does to each of us. This is a perfect card for this reading. Oh, thank you, Mother. Building our unique knowledge and wisdom until we become Elestial ourselves. Allow the world to teach you. This grandmother stone whispers. Grow into your own inimitable self. Y'all, that's how you spell it. It's written at the top there. I'll Google it right after this. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Wisdom is a byproduct of your own becoming. The word becoming has been coming out quite a bit lately. Wow, okay, beautiful. So, I'm called to just read a little bit of this page here. Respecting wisdom. Respecting wisdom. Elestial is dimpled and wrinkled, crazed and craggy. Each imperfection holds the history of this earth and its geological ages. While we may respect such wisdom in theory, when nestled among shiny, smooth quartz points, Elestial can still look strange. It can be hard to watch yourself shift from shiny and smooth to lumpy and lined. The person in the mirror can become unfamiliar and startling. And then there's a David Bowie quote. Aging is an extraordinary process where you become the person you always should have been. And then this is standing out to me. By the way, this is page 101. That's a portal, honey. All these gateways for you. Look at all those aspects of yourself you can explore, everything you can become. You have so many decisions to make, but you can take all of them, really, one by one. Beautiful. There is unlimited time to play in the multiverse when you're an eternal being, right? There's this quote here. Do your ideals around gaining wisdom inform how you treat people who have gone through the wisdom gaining process? So it's not a quote, it's just a question in the book. Do your ideals around gaining wisdom inform how you treat people who have gone through the wisdom gaining process? Some self-reflection for you about how you perceive people who you see to be more wise than you, or people who have gone through this death, rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth to find themselves. Wow. I just don't know why I just flipped to the next page, but it's the selenite, which is right here. Connection to the divine. And we have Libra, balancing of the scales, as well as our triple goddess, this moon energy coming in here. That harmony that's been pervasive throughout this reading with the 12-12, balancing of the threes, okay? Coming into harmony, and also speaking to this polarization, to becoming one, the polarization, balancing out, becoming harmonious between the masculine and feminine, between light and dark, between all of our aspects, seeing ourselves as a whole. And we even have each of the elements pictured here in the corners, here. All the elements there for you. So, thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful advice. Beautiful advice. Let's see what this deck, what advice this deck has to offer you. Magical Spirit Oracle deck. Ooh, okay, we're gonna do a fun little thing, a little treat for those of you, if you've made it this far in the reading, I suppose. Okay, Spirit is actually having me pick from my altar here 3 of my crystals. So we're gonna do a very quick pick a card, 1 card each, and it's gonna be, so it's like more personalized advice for you, all of you beautiful honeys that are still watching this far in. You know that if you're still watching, this is your message, you're meant to be here, and holy crap, welcome to the new earth, because we're creating it together. Like, we really friggin' are. This is real. This is real. This is happening. This is happening. The power that you feel is real. The infinite potential, it's real. Okay, here we go. I picked these 3 crystals just now. This is a rose gypsum, I believe. So it's kind of like, it's a rose gypsum. That's what it is. Trying to get it to focus. Give me a sec. I'm not sure. So this is going to be pile number 1. Has a very grounded energy. I wish that would be in focus. That's pile number 1. This is a dragon's blood. Dragon's bloodstone. Courage, strength. It's got a bunch of browns, reds, greens. Yeah. And here is red carnelian. Creativity. Rebirth, sacral chakra energy. So, one, 2, 3. Rose gypsum, dragon's blood, red carnelian. Take a second now, use your intuition, and make a choice, whichever one draws you most, whichever one draws you in most. You can pause the video if you'd like to. Okay, you've made your decision. You can pick all of them if you want to. Let's pull you a card. All right, beautiful. For those of you who chose this beautiful rose gypsum crystal, ooh, what is the advice I'm seeing? I'm a kind of quirky man in like a top hat with like big round glasses. Almost looks like it's an animated series type of vibe. And it's I'm seeing like farming, like we're like picking flowers, gardening, yeah. And it's very much this cartoony type of vibe, almost like the movie Up illustration. All right, what's the card for this pile? I'm also saying, okay, I'm hearing let go of what does not serve you, and I'm hearing the dragon needs to be let out of its gate. The dragon needs to be let out of its gate. Ooh, okay, come on. Spirit, thank you for everything that you do. What advice do we have for Rose Gypsum pile? What advice do we have? There's cards flipping over, but they haven't come out. I'll show them to you, but I don't feel like this is them. Emotions and the Servant Queen. Spirit says keep shuffling. Sometimes that's just what happens. All right, tuning in to Rose Gypsum pile. Those of you who chose this. Very homey vibes. Making breakfast now. Like gathering the eggs from chickens for your family. And then I'm seeing somebody stressed out and going to sit down in front of the computer like they wish they didn't have to do that part of their life. What's the advice? That one feels like it. Your advice is truth. Truth. It says, that which is true will always be enough. Honor, empress, and integrity. This is a card, it's number 37. Your advice is to truly try to see yourself in all aspects. See the truth. I'm struggling to put this into words because I know it's more than that, and it just came up the other night, and I wish I'm just gonna have to find the page because there's a really massive key that I read, and I was like, and now I'm just kind of forgetting what it is. Because it's not just, yeah, oh my gosh, it's big. It's so big. It's like, it is that feeling that it's like it's on the tip of your tongue. So there's definitely, I feel like this is what you're feeling right now, yes. Ooh, I'm seeing somebody just sitting on the edge of a picnic bench, like waiting for something, and it's kind of this like like you don't know how long you're gonna be waiting for. There's this tip of the iceberg sort of feeling coming in with this, almost like you're being haunted, where there's something you know is there, but you maybe can't quite put it into words. There's this feeling of sort of going through life, but not being as aware as you could be. Kind of sleeping during the day type of vibe. And the picnic blanket is coming back in too, and right now it's coming in as this message of like you're covering the earth, like you're covering the ground with this very it's like I'm seeing like the classic like red and white checkered blanket, which is very organized, but it's also this chessboard. It's very strategic, analytical. You're covering the ground with this manufactured, very analytical, very corporate feeling type of thing. A blanket, putting a blanket on the ground which connects you. And this may feel like a comfortable thing, but it's actually keeping you disconnected and walking through the air like a ghost, as opposed to being grounded into this earth's frequency. And so there's definitely this feeling that I'm describing right now is what's keeping you disconnected from your truth. You're allowing it to pursue. You're allowing it to go on like this by not turning directly, by not looking at the moon here. Okay, that dark side. Okay, it says, oh yes, it's abundance. That was the key. Abundance happens when I honor my soul and live in truth. So, drawing this card can be a sign that you are currently navigating this path to truth. You are indeed on a quest for truth. Living authentically has become a core value of yours. If you continue in search of this highest honor, you will surely be rewarded in priceless ways. Perhaps if you continue to live within the space of truth, you will achieve an abundance you could never have imagined. It is not dishonest to wish for true wealth in the metaphysical and physical world. So this truth that we speak, we're freeing ourselves with this truth. There's also one of the things that this book says too is shining by your own light rather than relying on the reflections of others. Okay? Being a real gem in a world of fake stones. It takes a lot of power to stand in your truth, to know your truth. And you're being asked to, with this message of abundance, like, there's something that you've been denying yourself, maybe because of worthiness wounds, because of something that maybe you haven't fully faced. I don't remember how they worded it, but it's not an issue. It's not an issue to ask for everything. To say, maybe I do, like, want to have a swimming pool one day. Maybe I want to own an amusement park. I don't know. Maybe I want to fly to the moon one day. Maybe that's my dream. And just not limiting yourself. Like, it's not a bad thing to wish for actual physical wealth, for actual physical money. Okay? Money has been demonized in our society because of the people right now who have most of it. But it's not inherently a bad thing. It's just a system that we use to assign value to things. It serves a purpose energetically in the exchange process. And so anyway, your truth. Stand in your truth. Stand in your truth and don't be ashamed of it. And for some of you, I'm seeing this image too of, and we're still in the same scene where it's like this gardening, chickens, picnic, animated series, old man, farmer hat, big glasses type of thing, wearing an apron, this very, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing this cartoon character open a wooden box, like the lid wasn't very secure, and they're kind of like, ooh, what's in here? And they're a little bit afraid to look in. But there's something there for you. Look at your truth. That's your advice. Your advice. Spirit is saying to me now, ask who walks with you. Who walks with you on your journey ahead? Who has led you to where you are now? Your ancestors, your friends, your family, your foe, I'm hearing, your pets, okay, relationships. And I'm hearing divinity speaks wisdom. And then also nature. Nature has a lot of answers for you. Spirit is saying the picnic basket is what you choose. If you're following that metaphor, if that's something that was speaking to you, then that's a little key for you. Picnic basket is what you choose. What are you going to put in your picnic basket? What have you been carrying in your picnic basket? Suddenly Little Red Riding Hood is coming to me as well. And we have 108 on the timer, which is a very powerful number. Very powerful number. Prayer, it means prayer, creation, all the things that exist. Okay, that is pile number 1 with the rose gypsum. What's your advice? Let's do Dragon's Blood now. Welcome for those of you who have chosen Dragon's Blood. Let's see what advice Spirit has for you, those who have chosen Dragon's Blood. Ooh, I'm seeing a really, like, on the edge of happiness, on the edge of, like, anticipation, like, feeling coming from you. There's a lot of, like, there's a lot of energy in this pile. There's a lot of energy in this pile, whether this is something that you've expressed or not, you have it, or you want to access it. There's freedom, there's laughing, like, I almost want to be like, like, it's like that, like, oh my god, like, oh my god, you'd be the person who would, like, stick their head out of the car just to, like, feel the wind on you, you know. If you're in a boat, you'd be the person that, like, the head of the boat, the bow of the boat, or whatever, just, like, living life, just, like, laughing, and oh my god, you're so joyous, so joyous. Oh my goodness. Your advice is the moon, number 4. What if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? Duality, hidden gem, and secret power. So I'm really feeling like this playful spirit, this fearlessness that you have is, maybe it's something that you've been self-conscious about with this word strangeness coming out, but maybe that's actually your secret power. Like, you're being urged to sort of allow yourself to feel this, allow yourself to experience this, allow yourself to put it on display. Spirit is saying hold back only where you see necessary. There's a need to learn to balance this frequency within your life. The moon, number 4, okay? The moon is intuition, emotions. So we're being asked here to look deep within. Why do you act this way? Or why do you judge yourself for it? And the 4 is coming in with this frequency of stability. There's a need to find stability in our emotions as well. So being fearless, being playful, being at the front, like putting it all out there like that, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But if that's all you are, and if it's causing disharmony in other parts of your life, then this is your advice to look within. Okay, to look within, figure out why that is, and find stability there. Okay, I'm hearing crawling. We're crawling. There's somebody crawling there. It might be a slow process. That might be I don't know, but I'm also hearing the song that I hear whenever we're fighting demons, whenever we're slaying demons, doing something really good for ourselves, okay? It's Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. Another one bites the dust. Okay, it was 1111, like 1111 on the timer when I said that, and before I saw the 108, which just stood out like 2 minutes ago, right? 108 again, okay, and then 123 as I look at it again. Wow. So this is part of your alchemy, honey. Learning to balance your emotions, yes it is. Learning to be free when necessary. And then there's something too about this duality between leadership and almost like a victimhood mentality coming in. Take hold of the reins. Sort it out. You'll know what to do. You'll know who you are. Stability. That's your advice. You're on the crux of something great. I'm on the edge of glory, and it da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. You're on the edge of glory. I'm on the edge. Okay. Yeah, bum, bum, bum. Another one bites the dust. Bum, bum, bum. So congratulations for being able to play like that. Yeah, you may need to rein it a little bit. Look at your moon. Look at your darkness. Look at your emotions. Ask why they're there. Do they serve you? Yeah, do they serve you? All right. But keep doing you. Keep being yourself. You're brave. You're brave. And you're on the edge of something really massive. A massive transformation. You are an alchemist. Yes. A transformative illumination is at your toes. That's what's coming through. Okay. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Beautiful. Ravens. Ravens. Ravens are relevant for you, honey. Ravens are relevant for you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Let's move on now. Pile number 3, Red Carnelian. This is your advice for Mother Earth. All right. Mother Spirit. Source, divine, source consciousness. What advice do we have for the beautiful Red Carnelian pile? I'm seeing you biting your nails right now. There's a lot of blue and green energy coming through this as well. Okay, that's the throat and the heart chakra. Self-expression, self-love, worthiness. Standing up for yourself. I'm seeing somebody arguing in my mind's eye. Like, yeah, you're arguing with your spouse, arguing with your friends because you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard, and so you start to yell or act out in some way. It's not serving you. Your advice is magic. Number 8. I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. Power, beginnings, transformation. Very, very heavily pulled to this word, this underestimating. You have been underestimating yourself. People have been underestimating you. We're not doing that anymore. The reason that you may feel there's so much injustice in your life right now between the people you give your energy to. I'm seeing somebody painting right now. I'm seeing somebody painting, doing art. The reason why you're feeling this injustice, and I'm feeling you being pulled in a lot of different directions and feeling a little bit scattered, this chaotic sort of energy, It's because you are underestimating yourself as well. Sure, other people might be underestimating you, but it's your own beliefs. You give yourself that validation, okay? But you're selling yourself short. Yeah. She has her eyes like half closed. These eyes look a little bit bored to me. They look a little bit dull. They look like they're running on autopilot a little bit. They look like they're tired and giving up. There's a sort of breaking point being reached here, and I'm seeing you right now just curled up in a little fetal position, in a dark place. It's time to stop underestimating yourself. You can change your life now. You can change your life just by deciding to. You have unlimited potential at your fingertips. You are feeling truly like the heart center of what Mother Earth is going through right now. You're stuck in the past in many ways. You're feeling this part of Mother Earth's transformation that doubts herself, that remembers why she closed off in the first place. I feel you looking to others for leadership, for an example, for guidance. And that's not a bad thing to do. But make sure that you're balancing this by taking those energies that you see out in the world and consciously reflecting it into yourself. Like asking yourself, why? So let's say you see some interaction at a coffee shop and it strikes you a certain way. Like you thought that the lady was like way too polite to the person at the register or whatever. You thought like, wow, they were being like really nice. Did they really need to do that or whatever? This is like a random example. Do they really need to be giving their energy like that? Take a second and ask yourself why that resonated with you in that way. What does it mean about you? What does it mean about you? Why do you hold the giving of energy in that way? Like, why is that so important to you? Why do you perceive it as a negative thing that somebody was overly polite as you see it to somebody working at the cafe? Why? Take that and reflect it. You're doing a good job observing things in the world and maybe seeing them through a new lens, but let's turn it around and put it back on you. Because remember, the world is a mirror. So why are you having certain thoughts? Why are you letting certain people in your life? Why are you entertaining certain energies? Where did these come from? And know that you have the magic to change it, to change anything that you want to. Truly, truly, truly. The number 8 is really standing out to me on the timer right now, okay? And it was 811, I believe. 811. There feels like a lot of strength coming from that number. I'm also with the 8. 8 plus 1 plus 1 is 10. And the 8 is, you're at this like, you've been through a lot in your journey. You're at this sort of crux point. And I'm seeing the ones as the last remaining pieces to sort of pick up. And the number 11 is also this beautiful master number of alignment. And so it's sort of like this energy of like following the breadcrumbs. This is your advice. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this is the number 8. Number 8 is very significant for you right now. Keep following the breadcrumbs is your advice. Keep following this sort of path. Sorry, I can't see. Keep following that path. The puzzle will all be put together. I promise. It will. Let's get the light back. I don't know how to make it come back. Power, beginnings, and transformation. In order to transform, you have to allow yourself to. Okay. Yeah, be pensive. There's this new horizon here, okay? This new horizon here. So you see this, and maybe you don't know how to take handle of it, but you chose this red carnelian because this is your soul calling to you to be a creator, an active creator in your own life, as you always were, as you always have been. Be conscious of this creation. That is your advice. You are magical. You are magical. There's magical around you. Become conscious of this and harness it because you have that freaking power. You chose this for a reason. Sacral chakra. Sacral chakra. You may wish to look up what that means. The energy there. Even the symptoms associated with the sacral chakra blockage. Okay. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all we have. Thank you all for being here so much. I love you so, so, so much. This was a long one. But to be honest, that's very true to myself. I'm an in-depth type of person, and I sometimes take a long time to say what I need to say. And I'm going to have to be okay with that. So, yeah. I appreciate y'all being here. I really, really do. I'm sending you so, so much love. Right now, I'm sending you love. Okay, you are surrounded by a beautiful golden and white bubble of light. I'm sending you streams of green as well. Keeping you awakened to who you truly are. Keeping you protected. Keeping you walking the highest timeline available to you. I send you so much light, so much love. Know that this love, this light, this infinite possibility, 2121, it is always available to you. Always available to you. You can tap into it anytime that you need. Anytime that you need. It already exists. It already exists. Step there. Step into it. The new Earth is here. She is here. Thank you for listening to this story. Mother Earth thanks you for your time, for your wisdom, for your love, for your support. She thanks you. This is a journey that we've been on together. We are all feeling it. We are. Now is the time to make the difference. I love you so, so, so much. This has been your message. I welcome you to join in the future. More like it. 2211 on the timer. You're so beautiful. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I wish you all the best. Onward and upwards. Sweet, sweet soul. I love you.